The journey of souls after physical death. According to numerous accounts from people who have come out of comas or undergone hypnosis to recall past lives and the moment of death, the soul often observes from above what is happening to the body. It sees and hears the people around but cannot communicate with them, even though it tries. However, the feeling it experiences is not one of fear. Instead, it feels a sense of release, curiosity, freedom, and enlightenment. Quite often, the soul remains on Earth for 40 days before transitioning through the so-called tunnel toward the light. The soul might be in shock from the separation from the physical body and may need time to detach completely. Sometimes, this detachment happens quickly and effortlessly. It depends on how strongly the soul is attached to earthly life and its level of consciousness. When the process is slower, the soul revisits familiar places it frequented during life. If death occurred suddenly, the soul may not realize what has happened and wonder why others can't hear it. Now, let us return to the tunnel of light. This is seen as a doorway to the spiritual world. The sensation of moving through it feels as if something is gently and lovingly pulling the soul toward the light. Upon reaching it, the soul finds itself in a very calm and peaceful place, which it often perceives as something familiar from Earth, a beloved home, a school, a garden, a mountain, or a beach. A benevolent force allows these earthly mirages to comfort the soul, helping it adjust at its own pace. The speed of this adaptation depends on the circumstances of death, the soul's attachment to memories from its recent life, and its level of development. Still, the overriding feeling is one of unconditional love, a sensation so unique that it defies comparison with anything experienced on Earth. At this point, the soul may be greeted by deceased loved ones, spiritual guides, or other soul companions. The purpose of this welcome is to help the soul feel safe and ease its transition back into the spiritual world. This moment is similar to a birth, but this time, into the spiritual realm instead of Earth. After these welcoming beings depart, and the soul is ready, it is taken to a place often described as a healing center, where it receives an energy cleansing that removes the burdens of its last earthly life and restores its energy. In some cases, this cleansing may not be enough, and the soul might carry residual burdens into its next incarnation. Some souls remain for a long time in the astral plane, the transition zone between Earth and the spiritual world, until they are ready to move on, but more on this will be covered in a future article. After this energetic cleansing, the soul goes to another place where it discusses its last life with its spiritual guide. This guide is a more advanced being who knows everything about the soul and assists in its journey of growth, which is the main reason for reincarnation. One or more guides may accompany the soul, and they can change throughout the soul's lifetimes depending on its progress. The purpose of this review is not judgment or condemnation, but rather a peaceful analysis and emotional release to help the soul recalibrate to the spiritual world. The review covers how the soul acted during life and how well it fulfilled the original purpose it had set for itself. However, the soul is not automatically forgiven for harmful actions just because it regrets them. Karmic balance will be restored in a future life. Nevertheless, the spiritual world is filled with complete forgiveness, and every soul is given new chances in its quest for growth. Then the soul is brought before what is known as the Council of Elders. Although the council is not a place of judgment, it is where the soul's experiences are reviewed in detail before it returns to its soul group. The soul's spiritual guide is usually present and assists in explaining things the soul may not fully understand. The elders evaluate how the soul perceived its life, how well it used its talents, and what it could have done better, not in a condemning way, but to help the soul learn. This process feels somewhat like a courtroom, but without sentences or guilt, only kindness and constructive guidance. Souls spend varying lengths of time in the spiritual world before reincarnating again, sometimes even on other planets. More advanced souls typically make the decision to reincarnate together with their guides, while less experienced souls may have the decision made for them by the council. I have a regression on this subject that I have yet to write up. Usually, this decision-making occurs in what is called the planning hall, where the soul, before returning to Earth, discusses: is it ready for a new physical life? What challenges and experiences does it wish to face in order to better understand itself? Where should it go, and who should it be in its next life to best work toward its goals? More evolved souls may return with a global mission that is less about personal development, like Christ, who came to earth at a pivotal time in humanity's history to embody and remind us of divine love. Based on the answers to these questions, a specific place, family, and body are chosen for the soul. Often, in order to overcome certain traits, a soul may choose a body and life quite different from its own nature. For example, a quiet, gentle soul might choose to inhabit a restless, aggressive human consciousness in order to learn how to manage such tendencies, a challenging task indeed. The goals and direction for the soul's development are defined through carefully pre-planned relationships and events in the upcoming life. These key turning points are often shown to the soul like a movie on a giant screen, including the difficulties it will face. The memory of these moments can resurface in life as what we call déjà vu. Finally, the soul descends to earth and merges with the embryo in the mother's womb. The soul might leave and re-enter the fetus multiple times before birth, or not leave at all. Sometimes it enters early in the pregnancy, other times, shortly before birth. Each soul experiences this differently. During part of embryonic development, the soul retains its awareness as an immortal being, but gradually adapts to the functions of the human brain and ego of the body it is inhabiting. Memory is usually blocked around the age of 5, though it varies for each soul. The immortal essence merges with the temporary human consciousness, shaping the personality of the new individual. Today, more and more children retain memories of past lives and the spiritual realm, suggesting that the veil of forgetfulness is gradually thinning. The soul's journey does not unfold the same way for every soul, but the path described here is the one most frequently encountered and confirmed through many regression sessions. If you found this topic interesting and want to learn more about the soul's journey, past lives, and the spiritual world, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos.